That's right, guys, the day has finally arrived. Right as we are leaving this year 2025 behind, I do find quite appropriate to have a look back and properly appreciate what I have achieved through the year, which in this case has been the full completion of Asphalt Legends as a game. That's right, there is basically close to nothing left for me to do at this exact moment within this game, and that is the closest meaning I can find to declare that, from my point of view, the game has finally been completed from my end. So let's get into all the details. At the moment of writing these lines, I own all the cars that can be unlocked at this exact moment within Asphalt Legends, and I do also have all saved cars completely upgraded. Sure thing, I own some cars that can no longer be obtained because of licensing, as I explained on a video I made a couple of weeks ago, but that's fine, since I don't own one of those cars that can no longer be unlocked, this one being the Inferno Automobili Settimo Sergio. I do really think it's worth clarifying that since that specific car can't be unlocked nor obtained right now, not owning it doesn't mean I don't have the game fully completed, as I have everything else that can be unlocked or obtained. Obviously, Asphalt Legends is a live service game, meaning that it has no technical end, since content will keep coming to the game for as long as it's economically viable. So I could say I have completed the game now, and next update, I will be back at the grind to max and unlock the new cars that arrive to the game. That's why, the concept of completing a game like this one is somewhat subjective, as there is no clear end. At the point of making this video, I can say I have completed the game because there are no new cars available to unlock or upgrade right now, so until the next season I can confidently say I have completed the game. It's not like I will stop making videos about the game or anything like that, it's just that I personally believe it's a great topic to close the year, since I never thought I would be able to make a video like this one, since it was mostly thanks to the new items and features that Gameloft introduced that I could gold many more cars than I anticipated through this year. Those features that I have just mentioned are basically the epic wildcards and the ultimate startup. Despite most of these items can only be obtained by spending real money into Asphalt Legends, I can confidently say they had a great value, considering how I could fully max cars that otherwise would have never arrived in the near future. I would go as far as to say that most 6-star cars available on this game are somewhat epic reliant, which basically means that there is a huge jump between the raw performance of the car without, a single epic import part applied, and the final performance of the car once you apply all the epic import parts required to gold max a specific car. And that's why I say that many cars are epic reliant, because you need epics to get the most out of them when it comes to performance. Epic import parts used to be like, the old paywall that Gameloft created, so you had to worry about something else, aside from the basic upgrades a car needed in order to be maxed out, and that's why I am glad they introduced a way to reduce the scarcity of epics by creating those epic wild cards. Aside from the epics, we got the ultimate startup upgrade, which so far can only be obtained by spending real money, since unlike the epic wild cards, which you can obtain on multiplayer for free, for example, the ultimate startups have only appeared through real money bundles within the game shop, and if I am being completely honest with you all guys, I don't think the ultimate startups will ever arrive, the free way anytime soon, but that's what we have to deal with, I guess. While recording this video, I certainly looked back and I realized how much money I have spent to get to this point, which is not easy to attain unless you have been playing for quite some time, because if someone started spending cash on this game as if there was no tomorrow, it will still take at least a couple of years of non-stop spending to get all the cars available at this exact moment completely golden like I do right now. The fact that I started playing way earlier significantly reduced the amount of money that I had to invest, since maxing out the cars with tokens and by playing the events thanks to the cars you already had significantly reduced the overall amount you have to pay to get a car golden, compared to if you decide to go for that car once it comes back in a different special event as a requirement, for example, since you won't be able to obtain all the epic import parts to fully max out that car. If you add all the Legends passes and other kinds of recurrent items you have to purchase to keep the account properly maintained, it amounts to quite a lot of money from the overall perspective. Still, I have to admit that I had quite a lot of fun and that the game itself has been a good source of entertainment through all these years, so despite I have spent an amount of money I would not recommend spending to anyone else, on my particular situation I don't see it as an unworthy investment. Let's get real though, I have no problem in telling you guys that most of the money I have made through YouTube, either donations or through this channel, ended up reinvested back into the game in order to keep making videos and other forms of content in the future, so that certainly helped to keep the investing pace. Otherwise, I will definitely think twice before spending a single dollar on the game, hence why I always insist on doing what is more appropriate according to your garage or situation before going for any specific car, since not all the people have the exact same starting point when it comes to max a new car that arrives. The best thing of having a progress like this one is that you no longer feel the pressure of anything game related. Whenever I want to play some races on multiplayer, I mostly use random cars, and if there is some rush to gather extra tokens, well, that's when I switch to the most solid options. To kill time, Asphalt Legends has never been this good of an entertainment, and I have to be honest with it. I have been at the spot of lacking some cars which weren't full max, and I will not change my current progress for that one, like ever. However, just like it happened with Asphalt 8, you will only need like 5 cards from each class at max to effectively dominate every single game mode Asphalt Legends has to offer. But to kill some time, just having the full catalog is way more fun. This video is not meant to be a flex, it's just like a look to all what happened through this year 2025 and all what I had the chance to achieve. However, having this kind of progress has some downsides. For example, I don't get as excited as I used to be when some cars returns, since I mostly make sure to max them the first time they arrive to the game, which is sad because there are huge things coming this year 2025. And when I say huge, I mean titanic stuff you would have never expected when it comes to event. So if there is something I can tell you is to save up your tokens, because 2026 is going to be an absolutely epic year, despite of not having the most insane features as we could see on the roadmap. Because, on the roadmap, I expected a bit more of sauce, I am a bit disappointed having to wait another year for the mastery to arrive, so, it better be worth the wait, guys. I don't think the Evo upgrades were announced at this year's roadmap. Matter of fact, they weren't. But the mastery system was announced. And guess what? It has been delayed a whole year, and being completely honest, I don't think it will arrive during 2026. I mentioned the mastery system because, it will have rewarded a progress like mine because I collected all the cards, but it seems like we will be getting new surprise features instead, I guess. In a nutshell, it has been a great trip up to this point, and it finally seems like I can relax at the finish line, which is something I am quite happy to experience, not gonna lie. Now it's your turn, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section and subscribe to not to miss absolutely anything about Asphalt Legends, because I can definitely guarantee you all, guys, that 2026 will surprise you. Goodbye and happy new year.